Empowering schools with tech-savvy teachers is now a matter of urgency. It's never going to be business as usual if we must adapt to the rapidly evolving educational system where technology plays a crucial role in engaging students and enhancing learning outcomes. Nobody in a better position than Mrs. Ife Obidi-Essien, the founder and CEO of Tech Savvy Teacher International, to provide clarity on this subject. Her expertise and vision in the field of educational technology uniquely position her to address the urgent need for empowering schools with tech-savvy teachers.
I'm a teacher by profession. I started from the classroom, and I was teaching my pupils then, and I just got back home, and I decided to create a video, multiplication by 9.
Wow.
That was in 2017.
Okay.
And I just put my phone on my stand and
Yeah.
just did, hello, I'm Miss Ife. I was not married then. I'm Miss Ife. I want to teach you how to multiply by 9. And I did a finger trick. And after that video, I was just propelled to upload it and put it on my YouTube channel randomly and make it free for any child that needed that knowledge.
Wow.
And to my surprise, 2 months down the line, a neighbor who was in grade 5 just ran into the house and said, Miss Ife, I've learned how to multiply by 9. I watched your YouTube video. I was like, what? It just, so many ideas just started popping. First of all, how did this child discover my video? Second of all, what was the learning process like for her? The learning outcome was achieved. I now started dissecting. I said, okay, nobody was there to woo her that she did not know her multiplication times table. So she learned in the comfort of her home without any stress. If she did not get it the first time, she would watch again, and concepts were extracted from that single experience. So I now learned that where there is a repetition of knowledge, learning is achieved. I said, wow. So you have to you can watch a video until you understand what Miss Ife is trying to say. Second of all, or third of all, I was a Nigerian teacher. She could relate with me. I was not just a random YouTube teacher that, but she could relate with me. Best of all, I was her neighbor. And I was like, wow. It was just something I did out of fun and just, there was not much of intentionality. And I saw that. I was like, every teacher needs to automate her lessons. Every teacher needs to have this. If every teacher is able to automate instruction, you are not restricted within the confines of your class. This started, and I listened. I started researching on how can this be? What can we use? What kind of tools? What kind of software? And I listened to Salman Khan, and I was like, wow, this drove home the point. And I said, I need to ensure that what I know, I develop on it and replicate it to every African teacher. And that year, I started the first ever Tech Savvy Teacher Masterclass.
Wow.
I just said, a teacher needs to be tech savvy. Let's give it the name.
Wow.
Tech Savvy Teacher. And guess what? This was 3 years before the COVID ever happened. So you can imagine what technology was like then.
Before then.
People were like, what are you saying? What is Canva? What is Screencast-O-Matic?
Yeah.
Teachers were literally shaking in my training hall. We used a training in Lekki, and we're just like, they were shaking. What is this? What is this technology for a teacher, especially for a female teacher like me? What does woman and technology have in common? And I was like, hey, I'm a woman.
Wow.
And it's possible. So let's learn it. And they learned animation. They learned how to convert their lessons to animation characters. They learned how to automate instruction, how to, use certain software. And of course, we were able to introduce the software that was free. So they did not have to pay. Just get your smartphone and you are on.
That's it.
And they were so excited. What is this? We've never heard of this before. And what we decided to do, we decided to demystify the fear that technology was difficult. And they started saying, okay, I think it's something we can do. Okay.
Wow.
And they just started creating their videos, and they started, and one of the testimonials we got on the third masterclass we did at Ikeja, a teacher said, Mrs. Essien, after your training, a student was absent in class because of health challenge. What we did, because you taught us how to automate our lessons, I created a lesson, uploaded it to the child. The child was not even in Nigeria.
Wow.
The child did not have to miss lessons because I was able to digitize my lessons.
Yeah.
So you can see that there was no boundary, no limitation. Technology has come to make the African teacher, more effective. So if technology in your hand is not making you effective, that's not technology. And that was the wake and the dawn of content creation for teachers. And we saw the power of audiovisual. 95% of learners are audiovisual learners. They learn through what they see and what they hear. So that was a game changer. Talking about children with special needs, this was also a game changer for them. Because of the teachers who had this skill were able to create tailored lessons for them. Who else knows you more than your teacher? So the best way to, solve that classroom challenge is to empower the teacher that knows the student. So once we empower the teachers knew how to, I know this child's problem. Let me use technology, direct the lesson to that child. And the child kept learning. First day, okay. Second day, third day, And with that, there was learning transformation. And that is how Tech Savvy Teacher International started.
Wow.
We're so popular. In fact, we touched every state in the 6th geopolitical zone in Nigeria.
Wow.
We went to Ibadan. We went to Abuja. They said, Ifi, whenever you come, we would come. This is beautiful. Abuja Hall was packed full with teachers by the grace of God.
Wow.
We had a good problem. The hall was filled up. Teachers were standing.
Wow.
there were no chairs because it was new. Oh, like, what is this? We've not heard of this before.
Wow.
We've been going traditional when it comes to teaching and learning, but this is a game changer. I need to, I have the freedom. In fact, we were backed up. I saw a school owner telling me, Ifi, God bless you. This is the first ever training I have attended, and I can know what I've learned, and I can use it practically.
Wow.
I can use it. I've been to trainings, but this is so practical. A DIY approach for teachers.
Yeah.
Guess what, sir? An Igbo teacher, Igbo language. He learned what we taught him and created audiovisual Igbo lessons. It was so engaging.
Wow.
I was like, I wish I had you in my secondary school. I wouldn't have failed woefully. I was like, wow. So it's not about creating content directly for children, but it's about empowering the drivers. Who are the teachers? And it was such a beautiful experience, trust me. And thousands and after our very first, training, a school owner said, Ifi, do you want to leave these teachers like this? Please create a community so that you can continue supporting them.
Yes.
Today we are 7,000 plus.
Wow.
On the Tech Savvy
I
Teacher.
want to clap for you. Wow.
Yes. Today we are 7,000 plus. We train, we put them. We train because we just wanted to support them continuously.
Wow.
And we've been here for 8 years.
So, but obviously I want to also know the challenges that you faced, building up.
Bootstrapping, the economical factors, because at a point we got an office, we wanted to have an office space, the cost was so high. Teaching in Nigeria is not something that every school owner wants to do, because I was talking to a Nigerian educator who was studying for her doctorate in education, and she said, Ifi, there's no budget for training in Nigerian schools. I said, that's the issue. Professional development is critical, but it's not, there's no budget
Not seen it.
allocated for that. So when you go and approach a school leader, that leader has a good intention. But the problem that school leader has, which I've been bombarded with for 8 years, is if I train my teachers, they will leave me.
Wow.
Because, and of course, some teachers, some school owners don't even want to know that there are a lot of factors. So we as a training company, how do we survive when it is not a priority?
Yeah.
They handle every other thing but training. Training is when you are over, you are doing so well and okay, let's train. So the market was more for more structured schools that really had that as their priority.
And that is where I'm coming from. That my question lies within that problem right now, because I mean, it's most of these big schools that see what you're trying to sell, the idea behind your project, and they're the ones that can embrace it. But it's not like these other schools don't see what you're trying to sell. But like you rightly said, the budget is not there.
not there.
How can we facilitate technology in public schools? It's not even there at all. And if it's there, it's not enough.
I think the private sector is even doing more in terms of impact in my perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, I might not really know a lot about what goes on in the public sector because there has not been much engagement, little or no engagement in that regard. We've been pushing for that, but it's not been really successful. So what we do is to go and meet those that can pay for what we do, and also try and encourage teachers to invest in themselves, because that's the true emancipation we're talking about. You invest in yourself, you become an asset. So you're not limited in your, within your classroom. You can start teaching children abroad in diaspora and start earning an income. Because when you come to, you're talking about teachers, teachers and income, income generation is critical. Because if they are not earning well, their morale is dampened.
That's the thing.
And they're not offering, you say, oh, Nigerian teachers, but they are not incentivized to go the extra mile. At a point, I was hard on them. Like, what is your why?
No motivation.
But come on, what's my motivation?
No motivation.
I saw that teachers in the United States were complaining. I was like, what? What should our own do? What should our own do when you're talking of a teacher being paid 30,000,
Wow.
a head of school paid 50,000? I said, what is their rent?
Wow.
They have children. So let me give you an instance. I think this was in 2021. We started the training. We were excited. They were happy. But they said, but Mr. Sen, we don't have laptops. How do we do this? We don't have laptops. I said, this is a challenge. What do we do? I said, okay, you know what? Get your smartphone. And we started having this smartphone optimization course. At the end of the masterclass, a teacher looked at her smartphone and said, what have I been using my smartphone to do? So I can edit videos with my smartphone. So I can create instructional materials. We started making it very inclusive. Okay, fine, you don't have a laptop. Come with your smartphone. And we'll tell you what you can do with it. We started, and it was so innovative because the use of technology, we always say, it's, there are different stages. There are schools that use smartboard, interactive, big gadgets. There are schools that just have computers or just teachers with smartphones. And even when they go and stretch to get one or two gadgets, it cannot even be maximized. I did a tour in a school who had invested so much in smartboards, but they were using it as white marker boards because they did not even know how to use them. And there the frustration lied. So whether you have the big technologies or the little smartphone in your hands, what are you using it to do? So the know-how is better. The know-how is more important than the gadget itself. Because when you have the know-how, you would understand how to access, gadget within your reach.
Yeah, your options.
Do you
yeah.
understand? Now,
Yes.
I want to say that, come on, we should have people supporting, sending in computers, sending in gadgets, robotic kits for schools. In the next 20 years, there'll be so many robots, and that's why our children need to learn robotics. They need to understand how to program robots, so that we are not lost in the whole development. So these are very critical, but training should not be left out, because there can be the gadgets, but it can be useless to the user.
That's true.
There are some schools I step into, and they're like, Mrs. Essien, how can we get smart boards? I said, no, you are not ready for smart boards. If you get a smart board, it will be useless. You have to understand how technology works, the usefulness of technology in your context.
That's true.
And how to maximize the technologies you can have available to you at your level.
Right.
Because if you understand the why and the how, you would be able to appropriate the right technology. You will know what technology do we need. When you say technology is vast now, technology is not just laptop.
Exactly.
It's far beyond laptop.
Exactly.
And I always keep correcting the misconception that people think, we are a tech-savvy school because we have an ICT lab. No. You can have an ICT lab and you are so not tech-savvy. It's the mindset behind the user that makes you tech-savvy. Otherwise, there will be glorified TV screens. So the why and the how is critical when it comes to technology advancement. When we started, why did we even start? We saw so many companies coming up with technologies, the gadgets, the softwares, but we saw the users, tech novices. Who is going to drive these technologies? If there is no company dedicated to, improving the capacity, there will be gadgets, but there will be no user. I step into a school and the school owner or the head of school is screaming at my ears, if we are tired, we have invested millions in technology, but our teachers are clueless.
Wow.
So the money is just on the table, but we do not have a driver. And I said, tech savvy is needed. We need tech savvy teachers, not just the gadgets.
Yeah.
But teachers who are tech savvy enough to drive the technology and know the way to appropriate it in such a way that the outcome, the learning outcome in the learner is achieved. I was talking to someone I respect a lot, my mentor, and she said, Ify, I don't think the problem with Nigerian is the use of technology, is the moderation. Do I know when to use technology and when not to use technology? Do I know what level of technology is even important for me now? Would I be talking about robotics and I'm still at the stage of even using PowerPoint slides? So if I don't even know how to use PowerPoint slides, what am I doing with robotics? So there are levels. You should have, garnered the foundational level of technology skills. Then you now grow. Technology is not the end, but a means to the end. It's a tool in the hand of the teacher. Artificial intelligence is here. We had a beautiful training last year. Teachers from everywhere, they came. They were wowed. AI. But you see, if you are not equipping the teacher to be at the driver's seat, AI will be the driver and we'll be losing our critical thinkers.
Tell me more about that.
So there is a fear that AI has come to take away our creativity.
Good.
There is a fear that AI should not be used because our teachers are getting lazier than we even started. But I just finished, in fact, I was invited by one of the educational associations, and at the end of the day, everybody was so charged up. Guess what I taught them? I said, you need to know how to prompt engineer AI to be at the driver's seat. Because if you do not know prompt engineer, AI will take away your creativity. Not because AI wants to, but because the lazy teacher gives AI the wheel. And AI is slowly gathering data. And one day, if we are not at the driver's seat, it may be used against us. So like I said, yes, we need more technology, but the problem and the challenge has been the drivers, the skill of the drivers. Because when you're talking about the emerging technologies like AI, robotics, if we don't empower the well-meaning teachers, the ones that are not having the right heart and approach, would leverage technology to the disadvantage of others.
How have you collaborated AI to what you do?
Oh, wow. I got an international sponsorship because I was able to prompt engineer AI. I was able to work with African Leadership University. I mentioned them.
Wow.
Yes,
That's good.
they worked with me, and the provost himself was a speaker at the Tech Savvy Teacher Masterclass Rwanda. Yes, and through the leverage of technology, he was even in another country, but he joined in. That man is amazing. He joined in and he was so passionate about education. And it was a beautiful collaboration. We saw Rwandan schools sharing the same problem with Nigerian schools, but we saw that their approach and mindset was getting them closer to the solution.
Faster.
That's where the government intervention comes in. And the synergy between no sector can do it alone. I don't see why people put in position should not understand pedagogy when it comes to child education and andragogy when it comes to adult education. You should not be clueless. It should be a deep passion. It should drive you, should push you, should propel you. That is where transformation starts from. But when we have passive decision makers, you see passive results. You can't say you respect me or regard me, and you take me to a class where the windows are broken, where I'm saying, I need to just hang on to feed my child. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
If I see the next opportunity, I'm out.
Wow.
But that's the daily story of the average Nigerian teacher. When I was studying education in school, I lived in denial for 2 years. I didn't want to be referred to as a teacher. But when God showed me that this is your part, this is your ministry, it's more than just a profession, I got ease and I stayed. But I was running away. I didn't want to associate myself with people that were not respected. I wanted to be a banker. I wanted to walk into the banking sector and wear my suits and be respected and look beautiful. But the day I heard a teacher saying, if you give teachers hope, the way you carry this profession, you make us look inward and saying, I think I want to be here. That is where I knew I started doing something about the way we see ourselves. So we need to invest in the way teachers see themselves. I'm looking at a beautiful, big, tech space for the tech-savvy teacher. They come in, they play with robots. They play, they are looking at coding, they are coding, they are doing stuff for teachers. A place they call their own. We want to go on a school tour. And we want to have campaigns on bring back our teachers.
What is the immediate call to action?
So there are a lot of key players. There is the teacher.
Yeah.
There is the parent.
Right.
There is the child.
Okay.
Then there is the government.
Okay.
And yes.
And there is the gadget.
Then there is the. I'll say there is the private business owner.
Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to education, And there's even the educational companies that are springing up. So there are a lot of players. So let me address the teacher first. You would not wait for the government to add value, to make you see yourself as important. You have to see yourself first as an agent of transformation. And when you see yourself that way, you are propelled to do something in your sphere of influence. So it's how you see yourself first. And maybe, by God's grace, the government will now see that, whoa, they are seeing themselves better. So we'll not wait for the government. So right now we are working on a technology that will do two things. I'm pushing a lot out.
Please do. Please do.
We are currently working on a technology that will do two things. That would bring out the right breed of teachers, develop the right breed of teachers, and address their economic situation. So economic emancipation and professional development fused in one technology.
Wow.
In a scalable fashion that you are looking at thousands of teachers on that platform.
Yes.
We have the prototype as I speak. And we're trying to push it out to, state governments that can run with it and say, let's run with this in our state.
Yeah.
Let's develop it and run so that other states can emulate.
Wow.
So that's where we are in terms of scaling the impact. We've created a prototype of this technology. The name is mind-blowing. A teacher uses that app and say, wow, I'm happy to be a teacher. Talking about even the big schools, it's not been easy to
even
penetrate.
The big schools.
You see a lot of, I have to know you. You have to be known before you penetrate us. You have to be somebody of influence before, until Nigerians see value at face value and appreciate it.
Yeah.
We start growing.
Yeah.
But there has to be, who do you know?
Yeah. Where are you coming from?
Why are you related to?
Yeah. How many years have you
How
done
many
it
years?
for? Right.
But we are here. And we believe that, God is helping us. God is helping. A lot of private schools have, I can call, private schools who have worked with us, Green Spring School.
Okay.
Corona schools.
Okay.
They've worked with us. They've supported us.
Right.
Ivy League School.
Yeah.
That's the school run by the church, Dominion City.
Yeah.
They are really doing a lot now.
Okay.
The church is really helping. The church is also a very strong platform as well.
Yeah.
And I think what Dominion City is doing it should be emulated, by a lot of other churches. They are really driving impact, in a scalable fashion. And it's impressive.
Yeah.
They said, if you come, please. Just if it's every year, teachers from every state should come and be empowered. This program you are running, we need our teachers to be prepared to train and raise the 21st century child. And we are doing well. We are coming up. We're coming up. But there's little we can do if we work on our own. So this synergy is important.
Yeah.
And talking about our efforts, we are currently running a summer program. As usual, we do it every year.
Okay.
And we're currently running a summer program for educators, professionals to come and, acquire tech skills. We're inviting teachers, we're inviting schools as institutions, send your teachers, equip them, and your year would be amazing because it is what you have that you impact. If you are not able to leverage technology in your classroom, there would not be a lot of impact. It will be running at a snail speed.
Yeah.
Technology has come to automate the process. So if we understand how to use the technology, in the training, we are dealing with AI, we are dealing with prompt engineering.
Yeah.
We are dealing with branding. That is where the teacher sees himself and herself as important enough. So you can see we are touching every area. We are talking about content creation. That is where the African teacher is able to replicate himself or herself in thousands of devices. I create a video, I upload it on YouTube, and 10,000 children are watching me from different parts of the world. Have I not replicated myself?
You have.
So in this summer training, coming up on the 1st to 3rd online, and from the 3rd to 5th on site, we are touching every area of capacity development for the teacher in the school. So it's a call for schools to see this and say, wow,
Let's grab it.
let's grab it. Let's
Yeah.
support this. Let's push our teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just be willing to say, wow, this is nice. I want to embrace it. And I think it's going to do so well. A lot of trainings we've done, we've really touched a lot of ground, and we've seen impact. So we're still doing what we're doing. We're still reaching teachers.
I stand on your behalf right now, and I say I don't see any reason why government should not embark on collaboration. We should be there. We should go, just be on level point with technology in schools. So your platform is that ministry that has come to help out.
And I want to say a big thank you for using your platform
Yeah.
as an agent of transformation, to push out this word, because if they don't hear, they would not know. I now know why I was here,
Yeah.
to cause a change.
Yeah.
And because we keep running away from the low children,
Yeah.
from the low income schools.
Yeah.
But I was able to see the problem and do something about it.
Yes.
So if we all do something about it,
Yes.
we'll be there will be greater impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even at where we are doing something about it.
Yeah.
We're giving scholarships to low income schools. You have to pay from your nose if you want to get a place where you can say, yes, my child is in a good school.
Yeah.
But why is it like
Exactly.
that?
It shouldn't
Why
be
can't
like
we
that.
have a school that is affordable, but
be
that
like
has
that.
a quality, standard of education? Why?
Yeah.
We don't have to pay through our nose,
Something
just
to say.
because we want to have, get this. And I still refer to what the provost of African Leadership University said. He said, how much should education be? Why is it expensive? How much? This is not a Nigerian. So he said, how much should education be? Why is it expensive? Why? I'm happy we have government schools, but can the average families, can they say the quality of teachers and the dedication? You have master's degree there, but the dedication to do what is needful, can we find it there? That's where Tech Savvy Teacher comes in.
Thank you so very much for coming.
I'm happy, I'm honored to be here.